Is that a new intro?
No, I couldn't find it. This has been happening to me. Like I'm gonna have to talk to Shady. It's all weird with the intro. So
I was about to sing the final countdown. Doo-doo-doo-doo. But anyway, okay. Sorry.
No, I don't know. It's not popping up. So we're part of Shady Network, Anthony and Rondo, and it's done this like 3 straight shows, but people still watch. So I'm like, how about next time we just come out and we like do a dance, Bill? Let's do it.
There you go.
Let's do an 0-2 dance. If we're 0-2, we can like do the symbols.
Man.
All right, so let's do this. I'm Izac with Fun Football Podcast. We've got Bill. Bill, you look ready, even though we're 0-1. You how you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I got some information too. I don't have the Malik Willis stuff like you do, but I got some Colts stuff that's pretty interesting. I think is going to be some interesting to share with these Colts fans here too. We're going to see. The Colts, you guys might convince me to take your team this week, but I'm going to still hold out some hope yet. We'll see.
I'm just letting you know right now, my Packer head is still saying Packers. But yeah, all right. So let's do it. Please like and subscribe our show. We're over 500. And we've got Anthony and Rondo. How are you guys doing, man? You guys feeling good after week 1? Where are you at?
I'm feeling good. I don't know about you, Rondo.
Can't hear you, Rondo. You're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, okay. I mean, a week 1 is kind of moot to us at this point. We haven't won in week 1 since 2013. So, I mean, we kind of expect to start out 0-1 at this point. So, it's nothing new.
That's, wow, 11 years. You guys have had some good seasons in there too. That's a little surprising.
Yeah.
And I'm honestly excited for y'all. I love Anthony Richardson, but the stat that stood out to me, but really quick before we get into this game, please tell everybody where to find your show, when you guys do it. Tell us about your show. The floor is yours for however long. Just tell us about it.
Absolutely. I've seen myself and my guy over there running First 56 for 2 years now, but me and him have been casting together for about 4 years. Yep. You can catch us on Spotify, iTunes, Podcast, Buzzsprout, Stitcher, and wherever you listen to a podcast. You can find us on there. YouTube, we are affiliated with the Sideline Sports team, so you can catch us on their YouTube channel whenever we do live stream. Typically, it's going to be overreaction Monday right after a game with previews kind of varying on Thursday, Friday, depending on what happens. But I mean, and obviously Twitter, Anthony's got the ad. You see it at First 56, like it sounds, and also on Facebook.
You guys are, wait, you guys are part of Sideline Sports too? We just joined.
Dude.
We're part of Shady.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, no, so that's cool. I haven't used their StreamYard yet because I'm on Shady, so I'm kind of like trying to like do both. I didn't know you guys were part of Sideline. That's really cool, man. Awesome.
Yeah, we've been with them for the last 2 years. So.
Okay.
Very cool. Awesome. Well, after the show, I'll have to hear some stuff. And I just see your message now. I'm sorry. I usually hop in a few minutes early, but we were rolling some people on Call of Duty.
Wow.
Okay, so both teams are 0-1. I'm gonna create the scenario, and we're gonna try to pitch our Packers with probably maybe the worst starting quarterback in the NFL. As of now, because Jordan Love is out. So, what's up, Cheesehead Weekly, by the way? Hey, and Queen of the Premier. All right, let's do this. So, you guys hung tight at home against Houston, one of the up-and-coming teams in the NFL. You've got Anthony Richardson back. He looks pretty solid week 1. A little up and down like Jordan Love is what I saw from that game. That was a fun game. It was one of the best games of the weekend. Let's talk about your team first. What did you guys make of that that week 1 matchup against Houston? It was a 2-point game. Let's go, Rondo. What were your thoughts? And then Anthony, and then we'll chime in.
Honestly, and like not being a Debbie Downer, but I came in expecting a loss. The only important thing I wanted to see was Richardson get through the entire game. Like, it was legit. I want to see him get through the entire game and obviously, give a better showing. Accuracy, the issues were there, but I mean, that's growing pains we're going to get with that. What we got, though, finally was what everyone's been asking for, and that's the splash plays. Alec Pierce going 3 catches for $125. We weren't going to get that with Minshew. That's exactly why Richardson's here. That's what Pierce is here to build the team. So I was looking at it from a purely offensive perspective, but the defense letting Joe Mixon torch us for $150 on the ground leaves me very concerned because the trenches are supposed to be the strength of this team. So that was not a good look.
And that was surprising. That's, I think, the Packers' recipe for success. I'm going to look at both teams, and I see a lot of easy ways for you guys to win this game. But that was the surprising thing. Mixon had his 3rd best rushing day in his career, and he's been around for a minute. So that's saying something. Anthony, what'd you make of the game of week 1?
Yeah, I'm gonna be more of a Debbie Downer here. Offense is cool, but I'm a defensive guy. Me and Rondo usually end up going to the tailgate every year at the home opener, and I always wear defensive player jerseys. My favorite players coincidentally are always the linebackers. So my favorite player was Leonard before he left the Colts. Now it's Zaire Franklin. But yeah, it was so embarrassing. I mean, just letting Joe Mixon run like that, and normally teams just don't really run on it. It's like even Derrick Henry being in the AFC South for all those years. Derrick Henry's never had a huge game against us. So just letting, in my opinion, like I was kind of complaining to Rondo after the game. Joe Mixon's in his late 20s, and he's going for $159 on us. That's pretty embarrassing from our point of view. I expected him to get involved in the receiving game, but not really like that on the ground. Offensively, I really liked what I saw from Richardson. But more surprisingly, though, I was surprised Jonathan Taylor didn't play well. Jonathan Taylor historically has never had a bad game against the Texans. Even last year when he was playing on one leg, I mean, he ran for $140 and like 1 or 2 touchdowns in the last game of the year on one leg. So seeing him only rush for 40 yards and a touchdown, that was also pretty surprising. But there's a lot of over-under with the Colts, just like any other team. So, you expect Richardson to play well again next week. And who knows, the defense might have a great game and Richardson might stink. So I don't really know what to think just because he's still in his, rookie year, I like to call it, because he's only had 5 starts. So it's going to be interesting to see. I don't know. I don't like to really call game certified wins. But even though the Colts are favorites on the road, I'm just interested to see how we'll look after like an up and down performance.
I like that. That's a good take. Both of them, seriously, awesome. And I've enjoyed your guys' show. I checked that out a couple times this week, and I think that's a fair take. Richardson's really raw. It's kind of like it's even less than Jordan Love. I mean, he played only a few games last year, and looking back in college, he hasn't even had. I mean, he's had less than 20 career starts since. Or if I'm doing the yeah, actually, I think less than 15, right? Since if you're counting the 2 last year, he's had like 17, 18 starts now since high school.
Yeah,
that's crazy. The guy needs more time. He's got amazing athleticism. He looks like he could be scary as a runner if he can develop as a passer. You're really onto something here. But I'm gonna save my full take for a minute from now. Bill, I don't know if you got to see that game. What's your thoughts on the? We'll segue into the Colts Packers game. But what were your thoughts on that Colts Texans game? We did pick Houston, guys. I'm sorry. I think I don't know if you did too. Houston looks legit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, man, I almost picked the Eagles. It was tough. That was a good game. Both were at least, But Bill, what did you think of that game?
I thought, Richardson, he passed for 212 yards, rushed for 56. Not too bad there. Of course, you have injury to Josh Downs. He's questionable this week. Alec Pierce, he had 125 yards receiving, so that isn't bad. You got some things running. Obviously, Jonathan Taylor, he only had 48 yards, so he was a little slow in the yardage there. But I think he'll probably have a better game against our rush defense, unless we can prove otherwise, because the Packers can't stop the rushing game. So I think that's going to bode well for you guys. And if that opens up and he starts rushing, and there you go with the play action. So you guys, I think, have a legitimate chance. On the defensive side of the ball for the Colts, I don't know if Julian Blackman, he had 10 tackles last week. Him being out this week, that could cause a little problem in the secondary and open up some things for the Packers in the secondary. Of course, you still have, Nick Cross back there, but you also have some guys questionable. Your defensive end who had 1 sack, Pay, and then Buckner is also questionable. So you guys got some questionable guys on the defensive line that the Packers might be able to take advantage of. And if that's the case, then Josh Jacobs can start establishing the rush game, which we're going to have to in order to probably win this game.
And here's what's nuts. I'm looking at the injury report right now. Jordan Love's questionable. And I just got to say this for everybody. It's not like the Tua situation where it's a head and it's probably his 4th concussion as a pro. And we don't know if he's had any in college, where that guy, I think, personally needs to sit. We can get into the Tua thing in a minute. But Jordan Love, to me, he sprained his MCL. Maybe it's not as bad, but to play like less, I know he had an extra 2 days to rest, but like, I don't know, man. I would sit him at least a game. Like, I was really thinking 3, but if he's like recovering that fast, maybe he could play 2 weeks after and play next week. I was hoping to sit him for 2 games and then start him for week 4 if he's ready. Like Aaron's saying, it, if Love plays, he means we win. They is in the Packers. If Willis plays, the Colts win. Although Anthony, I think, said something funny how they make scrubs look good. I feel like the Packers are good at doing that too. So, full injury report: DeForest Buckner, one of your guys' studs on D, questionable. Bill already said that the Packers have some injuries though. Their defense is clean right now, but Jaden Reed is questionable with a calf, and Josh Jacobs, and Matt said this on Wednesday, my other co-host, I have 2 shows. He said, and he was right, that they were just sitting Josh Jacobs through practice. So Marshawn Lloyd, our third string back, it's really just Jordan Love and Jaden Reed. And I don't know if you guys watched that game, but Jaden Reed had his coming out party. Let's pivot to the Packers-Eagles game, and then we'll preview this game. I'm going to go last here. Bill, why don't you kick it off? What did you make of that Packers-Eagles game, and what are you hoping to see week 2 here?
My biggest thing is we got to stop the run. I mean, our defense has got to be able to stop the run. I would rather get killed through the air than just let them run all over you. So the big thing is we got to stop Taylor. I mean, if we can stop them and force Richardson to throw, I think our chances are much better than.
But we're 23rd against the run. That's not bad. Do you know which team that we're playing? The team we're playing. Did you know their rush defense after 1 week?
Yeah.
Do you know what it is, Bill?
No.
Anthony, do you know what it is?
No, but it's probably very bad.
32nd.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
But you guys,
it's well deserved.
Both defenses week 1 did not look good, but if we're being honest, not a lot of defenses. It was a weird week 1 where there wasn't a lot of passing, but there was a lot of sloppy tackling. Bill, I agree with you. I think we need to stop the run. I think we need to make Anthony Richardson a passer and completely just put 7-8 men in the box. And I know they like home run play, so I don't know if it's really a great strategy because Jair Alexander got torched once. Yeah. But I think we need to load the box to stop you guys. Anthony, what did you make of that Packers-Eagles game? That was kind of an interesting one. What did you see?
So for me personally, it was all about the Eagles. I mean, I don't know where you guys are located, but I'm based out of Pennsylvania. Rondo is out of Vegas, so we're all over the country.
Nice.
But I'm based out of Pennsylvania, so a lot of Eagles fans here, and a bunch of stuff. That's crazy.
Spot on. We've sucked for like my whole life at this since the 90s.
But yeah, I mean, around here, I mean, everybody was just so excited to see Saquon on the Eagles, and obviously Saquon Barkley is going to do his thing, but I thought that defensively, besides that one play that Alexander kind of got torched, but that's just kind of because AJ Brown is just too physical. I mean, I thought that the Eagles didn't really pass the ball that well. Jalen Hurts, I didn't think really looked too hot.
I agree with you. It was a mixed bag.
Yeah, it was really a mixed bag. They got a lot more weapons than just AJ Brown. Yep. And if it wasn't for Saquon Barkley bailing him out, catching the ball over, 2 dudes, who knows how that game goes.
Yeah. Saquon killed us. It was actually Jordan Love was a mixed bag too, for being honest. He was a lot of quarterbacks were week 1. Anthony Richardson made some big plays, but he was 9-19. Jordan Love was all over the place, man. He threw a play into double coverage, and then he kind of looked like Josh Allen. Then the next play, 50-yard strike to Jaden Reed in stride. It was beautiful, and then it was awful. I expected that though. He's only started 1 season after sitting 3 years. He's going to take, that's what concerns me about this injury, is he's going to take time to develop now.
Yep.
And I was hoping it would happen from week 1 on, and however many weeks he's out, I agree with Aaron. He looked erratic and rusty. And that's exactly what I saw. And Jaden Reed was our best weapon, and Josh Jacobs got going late, but we let Saquon run all over the place. Rondo, did you get to catch that Brazil game? minus the sloppy field.
Yeah, obviously, like you said, being in Vegas, it was a lot more fantasy based for me, and so hate to say, but hey, Saquon Barkley was my first round pick, so I actually love.
I started him with
absolutely love
confidence.
that
I
game
was
with him
like,
running wild.
"Go Saquon!"
So,
I had Jaden Reed and Saquon in the same game, and I made a stupid error. I have 5 leagues, and I actually kept Higgins in, and those two helped me win by 3 yards because those two were dynamite. I normally don't make a mistake like that, but I forgot to shuffle them out. Sorry, go ahead, man.
But yeah, so obviously Saquon running wild was great for me in that aspect, and then looking forward to this week, I'm like we got number 28 in the backfield. He should be able to do just about the same thing. We shouldn't have that issue. And like you said, how you guys have that, your one commenter said you guys haven't stopped to run for like decades, and we've kind of seen it on our team. Thanks, Timo. That's my dog.
Yeah.
And,
who let the dogs out? No,
but yeah, like we've kind of seen with our team of that, like Taylor will get hot and we go away from him. I think this needs to be a game where we just honestly rely on him. And like we said, Richardson's only had 5 starts as a pro. The way you ease him into getting better is you lean on the run game. And obviously we have the benefit of having one of the better backs in the league. So he's going to be the key to that. But, going back to the Packers game, it was interesting seeing Jaden Reed come out because I was under the impression that Christian Watson was number 1 receiver over there. So I don't know necessarily what's going on in terms of like the receiver totem pole over in Green Bay, but if Reed has stepped up as the number 1, I think that's a message for us that we need to pay attention to that and not have another Nico Collins situation to refocus on Stephon Diggs and Tank Dell and let him take over.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that take. Everybody watching, here's what I want. I'm gonna try to put it in the comments. Leave your thoughts on Packers Colts because we're gonna predict it, and then we're gonna go through all of the week 2 slate. I like your guys' takes. You know what the funny thing is too? I think we haven't highlighted this yet. Steichen and I think LaFleur are 2 of the better coaches in the league. So I'm really gonna be interested to see in the adjustments that happen in this game because I think LaFleur is gonna have the Packers prepared even though they're undermanned, and y'all have some injuries too. So Vince Lombardi he would. I agree. Lots of running. Maybe that Packers sweep back out. I'm hoping Jaden Reed gets involved in the run game for Green Bay. I think that's going to be key. And honestly, an underrated component of week 1 was we had Wilson, our backup running back, because our rookie is out. He had 4 carries for 46 yards. That's pretty good, man. Like that I think is going to be our recipe. The Giants are in trouble. I don't know about the Giants. I don't know, man. Packers losing to the Colts for sure if Love is there, no bias. I mean, you're probably right, unfortunately. I'm going to try to talk myself into Green Bay. Okay, here's my Malik Willis stat for you guys. This is going to make these Colts fans. All right, let me get comfortable here. Oh, Malik Willis. He's had 3 starts. Check this stuff out. This is wonderful. I love it. He threw 6, and I'm not going to just throw stats. I listened to some stuff today. My buddy Rev Trev sent me a video that I'd heard on Bill Simmons. And it was depressing. He threw for 55 yards, people, in a win, his first game in 2022. Then he was 5 of 16 for 80 yards in a loss. It got better. Check this out. Watch this. Then he was 14 of 23. They really let him cut it loose, 23 passes. And the guy had 99 yards passing.
Wow.
And another loss. 2 interceptions.
I want him on my fantasy team.
Yeah, I want to have the defense that's playing against him, Bill. Start the Colts D this week with confidence. This is bad. I don't know why we traded for him. I think Clifford would have been better. He does have mobility, but on that last play, I mean, it was the last play of the game, but he looked like straight garbage. I hope Aaron's right. I think our defense is going to have to step it up. But if you guys are smart, you're going to use Richardson in the run game and lean on Taylor, and that'll be your way to victory pretty handily, I think. You have some weapons in the pass game too, even with Downs banged up. That's my Willis thing. But this was another crazy thing I heard. I don't know if you guys listened to Bill Simmons. He was talking to Mike Lombardi. I think it was Michael Lombardi, or it might have been earlier this week. And he was saying how I think it was Vrabel then. It was. Vrabel benched Malik Willis during the middle of a preseason drive. He was so annoyed. I was like, that takes skill. Like he was just messing everybody up. And it wasn't like deliberate, like Aaron Rodgers sometimes, wants to call the shots. It wasn't like that. I just don't think he has like a sense of the game. Like he didn't know where people are supposed to be. And I don't know. I'm not If this was Jordan Love, I'd be really excited.
Yeah.
But he shouldn't play, in my opinion. I think he's going to try. He's going to try, and they're going to have to sit him down and be like, "Nah, man, you tore your MCL 9 days ago. Sit down." So, dude, yeah, I don't know. I just can't. I can't do it. So, anyways, I don't know. I really don't know where to pick. I'm gonna go last on my pick. I'm not excited at all. The stats I do have, you guys are 32nd, but it's one game in. But you gave up 213 yards rushing. We gave up 144. But week 1, we were 7th in rushing with 163 yards. And you guys, like you said earlier, you got away from that running game with 20. You were 20th in rushing, 104 yards. Both teams were top 12 passing. We actually had the third highest yards. We had 260 yards passing, 163 rushing. We had 423 yards and a loss, which is kind of crazy. Both defenses look pitiful. Both offenses look elite. One game in, which is always a miss. It's not good information. It's week 1. So, All right, those are my stats. This is our biggest breakdown. Who wants to go first?
I'm
trying to talk.
I got my pick ready.
Yeah, what you got?
Well, I don't want to be that guy, especially for everybody watching. But
yeah,
if you guys watch First and 56, I'm a big man in terms of history.
Okay.
And I'm saying this, which is gonna hurt some Packers fans. Even if Jordan Love was playing, the Colts aren't losing this game. The Colts have a great history against the Packers. Last time we played the Packers was the year that we came back from COVID. It was one of your best rosters. And I like to make fun of my little brother because my little brother has been a Packers fan his whole life. You had one of your best teams, Aaron Rodgers, Jamal Williams, Aaron Jones, Devontae Adams, went to the NFC Championship that year. You lost to Phillip Rivers and rookie Jonathan Taylor in overtime. And last time we were at Lambeau, Andrew Luck, that was one of his – I think it was the year he came back from injury. He went in there with a crap roster, and we won in Lambeau, once again, beating Aaron Rodgers. So it's just in terms of history, the Colts don't struggle against the Packers. So even if Jordan Love was playing, with all due respect, I think that they're going to win just because I'm into, history. Especially like with us – and week 1, the Colts haven't won week 1 in 10 years. The Colts haven't won in Jacksonville, and I want to say 6 or 7 years. So that's just like penciled in losses that you can just count for us. But, the Packers are a team that we do really well against. Plus, I think coaching does matter. And this is year 2 of Shane Steichen. He does a lot of gadget plays. I think he's a much better coach than Frank Reich. So I'm going to take the Colts here.
Okay.
I'm thinking it's gonna be because the defense is kind of shaky right now. I'd say it's gonna be about I'd go 31-21 Colts. I think that the Packers are gonna score a few times with some creative play calling on their side as well. I could see some jet sweeps with Jaden Reed. Houston ran some jet sweeps with Tank Dell, and it worked pretty effectively. But think about it this way as well. The Colts, as you said, were down Josh Downs, and the defense played horrid. But the most hyped up team of the offseason was Houston Texans. They made all these offseason acquisitions. With how bad the Colts played, we were only 2 plays away from winning that game. Even though the week 1 curse, we were. If you double Nico Collins on that last play, you get a stop, and AR was hot. I mean, he looked like Cam Newton. He dragged 2 guys into the end zone with the game on the line on 4th down and goal. I mean, we were probably going to make it to the 30 and sink a field goal at the end of the game. So, I just think that the offense is too hot right now. And Malik Willis is Malik Willis. I'm not going to get into him because I just don't think I don't know. He's too much of a wild card. He could either have the best game of his life, and
that's why I forgot about that. I had heard that. I forgot. That was a really good point, Aaron. Willis and Love at the same age, and that's why. And I agree with him. 423 yards on a garbage field. And ka-chow. Thanks for watching. I'm kind of with you. I'm leaning Colts at the moment, but I'm going to make my final pick in about a minute or two here.
I still think the Packers are going to score, though. People are taking the under on the game. I think the Colts are definitely going to give up some points in this game. I'm not going to. say that.
I like it. Good pick. Rondo, what you got, man?
I don't know. Just to add
Say
on
Green
that.
Bay. Make me feel better.
I can't do that. One thing that does concern me though is Julian Blackman being out. So that means that 2 of our top 3 members of our secondary are not playing this game. Because Juju Brents went down with the knee earlier in the week, and he's done for the year. So we're most likely, that means we're trying out either Rodney Thomas or Ronnie Harrison out there. That gives me a little pause. But again, since we're dealing with Malik Willis, remember, this is a guy who got benched for Josh Dobbs, who got signed off the street when he was on Tennessee. So, I mean, I have zero fear in Malik Willis, and I want to knock on wood. I say that because Jake Browning did tear us up last season.
He also got benched to Will Levis, and Will Levis is trash. Will Levis shouldn't have been drafted as high as he was. I think I was right about the Will Levis thing. He gifted the Bears a win last week. He's like, hey, you don't need to score a touchdown. I got you. I got you. I got you.
Yeah,
like with the little bet under the table. So you're going Colts, I'm guessing, right?
I'm going Colts for sure. I guess I'm a little more mean than Gulick because I'm seeing more of like a 27-10, 27-13 type of thing. I don't like because look, I'm not sorry. It's like Josh Jacobs is a nice running back. I like him, but offensively, when we name dropped 3 receivers, you got Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed, and Christian Watson. Those are some nice young receivers. Malik Willis isn't getting the ball to them, even with as bad as our secondary is probably going to be in this game. Like you said, I think you said his career high in passing is he hasn't been topped 100 yards as a passer. So I mean, like unless he's getting a lot of yak yards from his receivers, he's not beating us down the field more than anything. And then the thing we did last week, obviously we mentioned getting away from Taylor, getting away from the run game. A lot of the success of this team though has been getting Pittman involved. Pittman only had 5 targets last week. We're used to seeing him getting at the minimum of 8-9. So I think you're going to see a game coming out strong where we pepper Pittman early and often, and we build up to those splash plays with Pierce. But like I say, I think we're back in a realm of Colts football where we can finally put points on the board. And defensively, I think we've got to recover from what happened last week. Josh Jacobs is a nice running back, but since you got Malik Willis back there, I don't think we have to necessarily worry about your receivers, that we can pack in that box. Jacobs shouldn't get anything over 80 on the ground.
I think this is going to be interesting. Should you play a Packers-Colts Madden game? Yeah, you should do it and make the Packers win. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I want to add something. I want to add something real quick.
Oh, sorry. Go. Yeah, you did, man. Go ahead.
There's something that we haven't really touched on. I don't think any of us touched on yet. One thing I did see in the Packers-Eagles game, I think you guys have a new kicker, right? Because it seemed like he struggled a little bit.
He did.
And last offseason we signed Matt Gay he's the highest paid kicker in the league. He's also hurt right now. We're still running Spencer Schrader, who's a rookie from Notre Dame. So I think both teams right now have kicking problems. So, in terms of scoring, you could get good field position, but can you convert in terms of that? I mean, who knows on both sides. So it's hard to say.
It's funny is that's the one thing the Cowboys are good at is they have the best kicker in the league. Somebody in my fantasy work league took the guy in the first round and then won week 1. I was kind of mad about it. Not against me, but against somebody else. I was just upset that he took Brandon Aubrey and actually won his first fantasy game. I was like, that shouldn't be allowed. You should just have to forfeit. I lost to another team with good players. No, I agree with you. The kicking, if it's close and our D plays out of its mind, which occasionally it does when we're shorthanded at quarterback, that tends to be weirdly when the Packers D does step up, like they relax when they've got a pro Hall of Fame quarterback like they've had for the last 30 years, or Jordan Love playing good at the end of last season. The defense stepped it up then. I kind of am with Aaron here. The Packers defense has all the pressure. We need to be able to look like a defense not coached by Joe Barry. They need to prove that their talent is what some fans think it is. We have all these first-round picks. Is it going to coalesce, or is it a talent problem as well? We're going to find out. And the kickers will be something to watch, I agree, which is kind of weird. Bill, it's you, man. First pick of the night, and then we're going to start zipping. What you got?
Oh, man. You know what? My heart is Green Bay. I love Green Bay, but my mind is saying Colts, dude. I mean, I just can't believe in Malik either. I mean, he'll probably rush more than he will pass in yards. So,
no, you can't take the Colts too.
Oh no, I'm taking the Colts, dude. I can't do it. I just can't. I mean, this cheese would melt all over my head if I took the Packers right now. I mean, I just can't. I'm sorry, but I got to be real. I mean, I would even the Colts are -3. I would take the 3 in the Colts in a heartbeat right here. The Colts are going to win by at least 9 points.
Okay, I actually think there's a chance Green Bay wins because I like LaFleur and he figures this stuff out, but I don't believe in Willis either. So I am switching to the Colts. All right, we universally pick the Colts.
With the spread too?
I feel bad about it. Yeah, so you can switch me to
Okay.
Indy. And
All
Bill,
right.
at the end, I'll give you all my picks, okay? So we
All
do
right.
a pool, guys. I should have said this at the beginning, Anthony and Rondo. We do a pick 'em pool. And last year we won a couple weeks, but we didn't win for the season. And Bill had a rough week 1. He got 7 out of 16, but against the spread, which we just do for fun, he was better. I only got 10 right, but I picked Buffalo last night. So right now I'm 11-6 and Bill's 7-10. So he needs a catch up. So, all right. So let's go through these. All right.
Okay.
We picked, who did y'all pick the Buffalo Miami really quick? I'm just curious. Who'd you guys take?
I took Buffalo. They just owned the Dolphins.
Agreed. Rondo,
Yeah,
who'd you take?
I had Buffalo in that also. Like I appeared on a cast like a couple of days ago. I just never liked Tua as a quarterback. So
All right, I'm going to do the easy locks and then we'll get into the harder ones. And then I've got some fun topics if we have time. I don't know how long y'all have. I don't want to go too late. All right. What are my locks for the week? And then we'll trade if you guys got some too, throw them out. One of my locks for the week was Baltimore over the Raiders. I think they bounced back angry 0-1. I actually, with the 8 points, I actually think they clear it. I think they're going to destroy the Raiders. I don't believe in them at all. I like that D, but I think Baltimore at home is going to clear. Did anybody take the Raiders here?
I live in Vegas. Nope.
Nope. Exactly.
Nope.
Bill, did you take Baltimore's points too? Are you saying they're going to cover the 8? All right.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, somebody else go. Bill, you got a lock for everybody?
Yes, I'm going to take the Rams on the road against Arizona. Arizona's -1. I think the Rams obviously cover that and they win outright.
That's a tough one. Let me go look at that one. I think I took the Rams too. Gulick, who did you have in that one? Rams are 1-point dogs last time I looked. I haven't checked.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. They're 1-point dogs. I also had the Rams. Just watching the Rams last week, it just seems like I was texting my buddies during the game. When Stafford gets knocked down at his age, he gets right back up, man.
Yeah.
He just keeps continuing to do it. Like they were down in that game and Puka went out and they still came back. So, I think the Rams are gonna make a comeback.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like it. Game. And they almost made a comeback against the Lions, trying to get some revenge for that playoff game. Interesting. I like it. So you got the Rams too. I'm gonna make my pick in a second. Rondo, who'd you have in the Rams-Cardinals game?
Yeah, give me the Rams on that one. I mean, I'm sure everyone saw the clip by now of Kyler missing a wide open Marvin Harrison Jr. And right, like wide open. I mean, I could have made that pass, and kind of like what Gulick said about Stafford. Stafford's just one of the toughest guys in this league. But I mean, that Stafford to Cup connection presently right now, is there a better QB to receiver like connection right now? I don't think so. So I will take that all day, every week.
Yep. And don't forget Williams running crazy too. I think he'll have a good day.
Aaron's saying the locks are the Ravens, Lions, and the 49ers. I like it.
See, I got a different lock, man. I got a lock already in my mind, and it's just.
I'm going to take the Rams too. There were some injuries that scared me really quick, and then Gulick, you're up. I'm looking at it, Max Melton. There was a couple for the Rams that were scaring me. I mean, they got Nakua out. I thought they had a couple other guys, but you know what? I still like, and that pass protection was terrible, but I still like the Rams. I think they're a better team than the Cardinals, so I'm gonna go Rams too.
I believe the left side of his O line is out. I know Joe Noteboom's out, and I think one of his guards is out.
Okay. I think so too. And though, honestly, at full health, even though I like the Cardinals, that defense is just straight trash. Mm-hmm. And I think that the Rams are going to be able to run. And even just with Kupp, you saw it last week. Kupp, when healthy, is still pretty good. And Stafford and Kupp have a connection that's special. And I think that, it might be a really one-sided passing attack. It's just Cup. But I think the Cardinals D is so bad. Maybe Demarcus Robinson gets a couple deep shots, and I think Kyron Williams and Blake Corum could go for 150 combined.
Yeah.
So I'm going Rams. All right, Gulick, what were your locks?
Perfect. Well, I just got one off the top of my head. It was this game and the Ravens. But the second worst starting quarterback in the league after what I've seen last week is Deshaun Watson. He is bad, man. Like, he's so bad. I got the Jags covering against the Browns. I'm surprised they're only 3-point favorite.
3 points, yeah.
Yeah, the Jags, they looked actually pretty good against Miami, except, blowing it at the end in normal Jags fashion. But man, like, that was, I just can't believe Dallas was underdogs last week at Cleveland. I mean, that was just a beat down. I mean, I knew some people who were at that game, and they said, everybody was gone in the stands by like midway through the third quarter. Like, it was just all Cowboys in Cleveland. Like,
I agree with you, man. I need me to survive week 2 in my one-on-one fantasy and have a quarterback for any other team. I don't care who, so I can bid on him and get that one to replace, because I have exactly him. I have Watson as my quarterback.
And plus they lost David Njoku too, which hurts.
And Nick Chubb's still out. Yeah,
Yep, that's
I was a little torn on this, even though Savage is out for the Jags, but I mean, he's not. I mean, we've seen Savage for years. My concern is the Browns D is still, I thought, legit, even though they weren't week 1. And we have to remember that they were last year, but they weren't on the road. Deshaun Watson is your quarterback. Ew. I feel bad for Bill.
Sorry.
The fans feel bad for you having Deshaun in fantasy. That's super rough. You need to get rid of him.
It is. It's very rough. Trust me.
He's bad.
All right,
man.
so I think we're all going Jags. I was torn on this because I thought the Browns might be ticked off after blowing that week 1 game at home. They were good. That defense was one of the best in the league at home last year, but this is on the road. And the Jags are also going to be ticked off because they blew week 1 at Miami. They should have won that game.
Yep.
Gulick said in typical Jags fashion, they blew it. So we are all going Jags, and I'm going to say they cover the 3 as well. So
all
we
right,
all got Jags.
I'm
Anybody got any
taking
other locks?
Okay.
You got any other locks? Anybody else? Oh, sorry, Bill. Wait, Bill, you're taking the Jags, right?
I'm taking the Jags straight up, but I'm taking Cleveland with the points.
So you're saying Jags are only going to win by 1 or 2 points?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I got you. Sorry, Bill. My bad. I goofed up.
No, it's okay.
All right, Bill, Rondo, Gulick, did you guys have any other locks? I've got another one.
All right, this might be an unconventional one, but we talked about bad starting quarterbacks, and we also talked about coaching. So give me the Chargers over the Panthers.
Yeah,
Bryce Young's on that bad quarterback
list.
Let's
do it.
And Harbaugh is a damn good coach. And
yes,
so
he is.
5 points feels low. It feels a little trappy, but I think they cover that.
It's gone up. It's up. I saw it 4.5 years ago,
right?
And it's up to 5.5. It's gotten out of that Vegas zone just a little bit.
My last check it was 5. So
it'll.
Matt says Chargers. Chargers a lock.
Yeah.
Ka-chow. We got some other people watching. Thanks, guys. I'm Gulick, do you agree? I'm with the Chargers too, man.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think Derek Brown also might be out for the Panthers. So that also hurts.
Yeah.
He might be, but he's their best player. And they just ran it every play, it feels like. I mean, I found out the hard way. I mean, Rhonda, you're going to be disappointed in me, but I put a lot of money on Raiders money line last week. And I lost a lot of money.
Oh, man.
I lost a lot of money.
Sorry, we do this cool, and it's like enough. That and fantasy are enough for me. Like, even if I did this for a career, I don't know if I could put more money on the NFL, because then this is what will be happening in my heart every Sunday. It'd just be like,
Yep.
The Dolphins need to cover. The Dolphins are letting me down. And then the freaking Bills last week. There were so many games where the team had this epic second half comeback. But I got to tell you, man, I did a panic ranking, and I didn't even put the Panthers or Giants on there because the Panthers have been such a disgrace. And the Giants, this GM, this Shane, he is such an idiot. I'm sorry. This guy is so dumb. He got Brian Burns, and I don't blame him. Burns is special, but he let McKinney and Barkley walk out the door and didn't have a contingency plan for Daniel Jones. And I know he wasn't the one who signed him, I don't think. But this guy's an idiot. And Mara has not gotten the right coach or GM since Coughlin left. It's been really sad for the Giants because they're a proud franchise and they've been just straight trash. But the Panthers, man, I think they're like by far the worst team in the NFL. Like for me, 4 wins would be a success for that trash franchise. I'm just telling you, man. Like, I don't know. Jonathan Brooks would be their saving grace if he's as good as we think when he comes back. But Bill, are you on Chargers too?
Yes, I took the Chargers minus the 5.5.
I'm taking the points too. So Rondo, Gulick, everybody said Chargers, right?
Yep.
And honestly, they're trying to get back to running the ball. So I'm going to be really curious if they just smash it in the Panthers' face and play ball control. And Herbert's a good coach. I'm with you guys. Okay, I got a lock for y'all. It's a little bit of a weird one, but not really. I'm taking San Fran and they're 5.5 on the road at Minnesota. I don't believe in Minnesota with Sam Darnold. I think the 49ers are far superior, even on the road. I think they cover. Gulick, Rondo, what do you guys think? Bill?
I think they
cover. I agree. I agree. They'll cover. They'll win by 10 or more.
Yeah.
Gulick, what do you think?
It's at 4.5 now anyway, at least on my
it went down?
Yeah.
Yep.
No way. It went down a full point?
Dude.
Is there much from the
I don't know why.
Well, Adam, actually, I don't know. That's weird.
It might have went down after McCaffrey was declared out.
I might put the money on that one. Yeah.
Well,
hey, I mean, when you got Justin Jefferson, you got a chance, but San Francisco's loaded.
Yeah, they're not getting the Giants defense.
McCaffrey's out. Is Greenlaw still out? But Addison's out for the Vikings. Hawkinson's still out. Yep. Harrison Smith is questionable. Oh, wow. This is just Yahoo. It uses BetMGM. 93% of the bets and 92% of the money are in Minnesota. And I would go heavy. Wow. Like if I was a gambler.
Really? Wow.
I never bet with the public, so I
typically don't, but I just think San Fran is that much better than Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree with Jefferson. You have a chance. Okay, so let's do everybody's picks on this one. Gulick, are you going Minnesota? Or are you?
I'm going 49ers, and they're going to cover. I like Mason a lot too. He's a good player.
Yes.
Anybody who got him in fantasy, good for you. Rondo, were you going San Fran on that one?
Yeah, I will take San Fran on that one. Hopefully, Ayuk, gets his touches. I need him fantasy wise.
Bill, were you also going San Fran on that one?
And they cover, yes.
I like it. Did anybody have any other locks? I have 1 or 2 more, but I want to give you guys. Bill, did you have any other ones? Rondo?
No, I can't. I mean, I could maybe lean the Falcons, Philadelphia, but I don't know if it's a lock.
I got a lock on that after the way Kirk Cousins looked week 1.
True.
Even with Philly's D in Philly, I think I actually have them covering.
Okay.
What do y'all think of that? Am I crazy for that one?
That was my last lock. Kirk also is just historically bad on Monday night. I mean, everybody knows his record. It's got to be like 2-12 or something.
Ooh, I'm gonna get that. I wonder what it is. On Monday Night Football, this is gonna be a fun stat.
Yeah, I mean, so coincidentally, I'm pretty sure he beat the 49ers last year, but before that, I mean, like they played in Philly 2 years ago, and they just got smashed on Monday night.
I'm trying to get it. Oh, Kirk Cousins is 3-10 on Monday Night Football.
Yeah,
yeah.
Monday night Kirk is just not a good combo.
Yeah, that's.
I can't do it. Like I have to see him do it. Bill, what was your pick on that one?
Oh, I'm definitely taking the Eagles straight up and the cover, the 6.5.
Okay. I've got another one for you guys, and I'm not sure if I'm taking the points or not. I've got one more.
Okay.
I think KC is going to beat Cincy, even in KC. And Cincy plays them tough, but Cincy's kind of in shambles. I don't know if Burrow is fully healthy. I don't even know what's going on with their receiving core. And they do tend to start slow, but it tends to last more than a week with this team. we got some comments that I want to hit in a second about the Tampa Bay Detroit game, but I just can't go Cincy in this game. I'm a little shocked. Last time I looked, it's at 5.5.
Yeah.
I just that's kind of it's 6 now. There we go.
It's 6 now. Yeah.
We did this on I can't remember if it was yesterday or Wednesday.
It was yesterday, I believe.
6 points.
Yep.
Hollywood Brown is out. T. Higgins is doubtful. The dude says he is a hammy, but I think he's just holding out because he's ticked off. Yeah. And Jamar Chase didn't practice all preseason. Zach Moss is a downgrade from Mixon, a pretty steep one, it looks like.
Yep.
I think it's not even close. I think KC is a much better team.
Yep.
Okay, that's my take. I say KC wins. I'm actually going to give them. I'm going to say they win by 7 or more. So I'm going to take the points. Gulick, what's your thought on this one?
I think Cincinnati plays them tough. So I still think Kansas City is going to win. I just don't think they'll cover. I think they squeak one out. They probably win by 3. But it might be the game Joe Burrow snaps out of his slump. But I could totally see this being like a 27-24 type game, just because of how tough they play them.
No, that was my one thing. I almost gave Cincy the points. I'm torn on that, but yeah, I'm with you. Rhonda, what's your thought on the KC Cincy game?
Yeah, I mean, like if I was actually betting, it's a game I'm just staying away from, just because
I stayed away from it.
There's so many questions with it. I'm kind of with Gulick of I think KC just wins, so like money line, but points wise, I guess if you have to, I guess take the Bengals. But I mean, I've kind of learned that just like how you don't bet against Brady, you don't bet against Mahomes. So,
story. Good take, man. I like it. Bill, what's your pick on this one?
Yeah, I got it. I mean, straight up KC, and then even the -6. I think they just got too many weapons, and I don't trust the Bengals, so I'm taking KC on that one.
I like it. We've got a few left. I'm looking at it. I'm going to hit this Detroit. We got some comments on the Detroit Tampa. I've got one more. And I do think there's a chance the Saints keep this close. I want to talk about this Cowboys game. The way we usually do this, we kind of mix it up, but I thought it'd be fun to zoom through. This week's a little weird. It feels like it's I know it's not going to happen. No, there's going to be a stupid upset in here. There always is.
Yeah.
It's the NFL. But this Saints Cowboys game, if the Cowboys lose at home after they blew that playoff game to the Packers, but they've been super dominant at home, and I know Ferguson's out. And the Saints D is good enough to keep them in it, but they've got some injuries, man. Lattimore's questionable with a hip. Their tackle's out. Their other tackle's out. They've got one of their linebackers is questionable. Actually, another one's out. They've got a litany of issues, and the Cowboys are healthy outside of Ferguson, and they played angry week 1. I'm going Cowboys. And I don't love doing that because then they always burn me, but Bill, what you think? You going Cowboys? I wasn't sure on the points. I think I'm going to take the Cowboys points. When you told me you said you were going Dallas by less than 6, what's your thoughts?
Straight up, I'll take the Cowboys, but with 6.5, because it's their Dallas's -6.5, I'll take the Saints with the point spread.
Okay. I see it at 6 now, but still, yeah, the Cowboys would have to cover by a touchdown or more. Rhonda, what's your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I'm kind of with Bill. I like the Saints with the points. Obviously, if we're going money line, Dallas should win that game. I mean, I would say the X factor in that game, and it's kind of the game that case with the Saints in every game. It's Taysom Hill. If Taysom Hill goes off, the Saints win. But if he's held in check, then Dallas wins. But I think the Saints with the points though is the bet.
Yeah.
All right, I like it. Gulick, what's your thoughts on that Cowboys game?
I'm going to take the Cowboys, and I'm going to take them with the points too. I'm going to double down on all my bets that I placed this week. I took Dallas in all of my parlays. But I think that that Saints game was just really fake because they're playing against Carolina. I think Derek Carr, from what he showed last year, I think that he's in the same tier as like Daniel Jones and Deshaun Watson in terms of starting quarterbacks. I just don't think Derek Carr is really that good anymore. And I just want to say this too. there was a lot of talk about the Cowboys' offensive line and how they would play because now they got a rookie center. They also drafted a kid, Tyler Guyton, as their new left tackle. And Dallas just breeds offensive linemen, man. Like they might not know how to draft anywhere else, literally, but they know how to find these offensive linemen. They drafted Tyler Smith last year. They played him at left guard and left tackle. I mean, these guys are just plug and play. And I like their matchup. I mean, Dak, I think, is at least going to be protected. So if Dak can get the ball out and if Lattimore's hurt, I mean, I could easily see CeeDee Lamb having at least 150 yards. So
I'm with you. And I just don't. Lattimore's banged up. Who's going to cover CeeDee? I think Cooks could have a really good game here. And I think that I don't know. The only way the Saints, I think, can keep this close is that defense plays elite. And they run it right at. The problem is they're going to need to run it right at the Cowboys because that's the weakness. And like the Browns, without Chubb, they're not the team to exploit this. Like Kamara's not what he used to be. So I've got some issues with the Saints. I think it's a bad matchup for them. So yeah, I'm with you guys. I'm going Cowboys. All right, we got some weird ones. Let's hit this since we had some comments on it. Let's hit this Tampa Bay Detroit game. It's kind of interesting. Last time I looked at it, it was 7.5, which is pretty heavy. Detroit. And we got to remember that they played in the playoffs and Tampa played them kind of tough. It was a 1-score game. Let's look at it. Where it is. There it is. This Tampa Bay Detroit game. Let me hit the comments on it. You said lock in the Lions over Tamps unless you all really believe in the Bucks, which I don't. I don't, but Baker continues to look good in Tampa Bay. And there is something to be said for that. And the Lions secondary is super young and inexperienced and still exploitable. And that is the strength of the Bucks. They can sling it if Baker is playing the way he is. So they're set up to play against Detroit well. The problem is Detroit's so freaking stacked all over the place. Otherwise, I don't know if that Bucks D can hold them down. I don't know if Detroit covers the 7.5. I was kind of like you guys in the last game. I was saying Detroit wins, but by less than 7.5 because they could win by touchdown and Tampa covered on this one. That was my thoughts. Gulick, what are you thinking? I can see your.
Yeah. I think Tampa's not going to win, but they're definitely going to cover. I think they'll lose by a touchdown, but just as you said, Baker, he's been dealing lately. I mean, I want to say he finished his quarterback 2 in fantasy last week. He had 4 touchdowns.
He was, I think he was the best fantasy. Yeah, he was the best fantasy QB, right? With all the bad fantasy play, it was kind of crazy.
I will say though, I think St. Brown has a big bounce back game. He didn't really play too hot. He does other things. He doesn't care about the yards. He gets real involved with the run game and all that. But I think he's gonna have a bounce back game. But Tampa is kind of like the Rams in the sense that they're just kind of pesky. Like they just fight. Like they're just tough, especially that defense, Vita Vea, guys like that, Yaya Diaby, like they just fight, man. Baker Mayfield's another tough dude. So I think they're going to do enough to hang around, but they're not going to win.
I'm with you. All right. So we got, man, we're going to have to disagree on these last few. We've all been fairly in unison. It's kind of scary. All these teams better cover. Rondo, who you got on this one?
Give me Tampa Bay with the 1.5, but also give me the over in that game. That game's going to be a pure shootout. I see points flying all over the place.
51.5.
Yeah. Give me the over on that all day. Like we said, Baker's been balling, but Goff and the Lions, they light it up also. I believe Antoine Winfield is out for that game. So that's a secondary member for Tampa Bay, one of the better ones in the league. So, and like how Gulick said, St. Brown coming off of a low game last week. He's probably going to top 100. I'm sure Mike Evans is going over 100. Pure shootout. Detroit probably wins, but Tampa's definitely covering with 7.5.
And Jameson Williams is questionable for the Lions, and Davenport is doubtful for them. So that's 2 key contributors, one on D. And then the Bucks have a couple defensive linemen out. Tyke Smith is questionable, so they've got some injuries all over the place, and Josh Hayes is out. So the Bucks already defense that was probably already going to have problems, like you said, with Winfield, one of the best safeties in the league, and some other guys. They were already going to probably have problems stopping the Lions, and now they're down. Yeah, I agree with you. I do think Baker could have a really good game. Bill, what you got, man? Are you gonna go Tampa?
No, I'm not going Tampa. No, I got the Lions covering the 7.5. Straight up, they win. I think it's going to be too much. St. Brown's going to burn them deep. That's going to open up Gibbs and Montgomery running the ball. They're going to be just a two-headed monster. I think Tampa may keep it close for the first half, but then it's blown out. Detroit's going to win by at least 13.
I'm with you. I like it. And I want to say thank you to the 500 people watching. We appreciate you. We got a few more picks for you guys. I'm excited. All right. I've picked all of them so far. We've got New York Jets, Tennessee left. We got the Seahawks and Patriots. We got the Giants and the Commanders. We've got the Steelers and Broncos. And we've got the Bears and the Texans. We got 5 more games to pick. And then if there's time, I got something fun. We'll see if there's time. Which game you guys want to do? How about one of you? Well, it's just round table. You guys pick the game. Rondo, which one do you want to hit?
Jeez. I guess
He's
I'll
like,
go Giants to
I
Commanders.
saved the hard ones.
I mean, I'm for sure smashing the under on that game. There's no points being scored there.
Wait, which one?
Giants
Which one?
Commanders.
Oh, Commanders,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is the Commanders have one of the worst Ds in the league. So you would think that maybe the Giants could score
Giants
some
will
points
score.
on them, but they suck.
I got no faith in Daniel Jones.
Oh, me neither, man. I think I've got to pick.
Washington.
Give me
What's
the under
the
and give me
recent history on that one? I gotta look.
Yeah, I'm taking the under in Washington with that one.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Seriously, if Daniel Jones can't score on this Commanders D, which next to the freaking honestly, next to the Cardinals might be the 2 worst defenses in the league. Not to be mean, it's just the truth.
They're
I mean,
bad.
the Packers D didn't look great. The Colts, that's another game that could be, if Love was healthy, could be high scoring. But no, these 2 defenses are not good. I honestly wasn't sure which way I was going to pick this one. Rondo, who did you pick? Who'd you take? Are you taking
I
Washington?
took the Commanders with the 1.5.
Okay.
But for sure the under.
For sure the under. The over-under's 43.
Oh, wow, yeah.
All-time series, the Giants have owned them. But the last few, I'm trying to get this record up. Gulick, what are your thoughts on this one? Who do you think wins this one? Commanders?
Same with Rondo. I'm going to take Commanders, and they're going to cover, but I'm going to take the under. Also, side note, just for all the people watching, 156 fans as well. My least favorite NFL player, I think, in the last 10 years has to be Kayvon Thibodeau. After he was hitting, the snow angel after he sacked Nick Foles and then said it wasn't intentional. And every time he fails, like he failed, clearly last game the media was grilling him about it, and then he wanted to cry like a baby. So that guy can go screw himself. So I'm always gonna go. I'm gonna go pick against him. I'm gonna pray on his downfall. I love Brian Burns, but screw Kayvon Thibodeau. He doesn't try.
So the Giants are 5-1, 5-2-1. There was a tie this decade, and they were 13-7 in the 2010s. They've pretty much owned it for the last 30 years. Not like massively, but pretty distinctively, honestly. At least this decade. The Commanders swept them in 21. They barely held on and won the 2. Last year, the Giants won 14-7. So that D just, I don't know.
Honestly though, Jane Daniels didn't look too bad. I didn't think. I didn't think Jane
he
Daniels
looks pretty
looked too bad.
solid. The offense.
He didn't look too bad, but he needs to learn a very important role in the NFL. Throw the ball to your number 1 receiver if you want to win.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are both taking Washington, right?
Yep.
All right, Bill, what you got?
I got Washington too. I think they cover the 1.5, and straight up they just win. I think they're the worst of 2 evils. They're both bad, but I think Washington's a little bit better, and they're at home. I mean, so I'll give them that advantage.
I'm not excited about this pick at all, but I'm going to go take Washington, and I'm going to say they win by more than a point. So give me the points. All right, this is a fun one. Well, actually, no, sorry. I said I'm going to give them all up. All right, Gulick, you're up. There's 4 more.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the trap game. The trap game this week. I think it's New England and Seattle. Kenneth
know.
Walker, he's doubtful. That means that he's probably not going to play. And Seattle, their defense looked really good against the Broncos, but I'm gonna take the Patriots. I'm not gonna. I forgot what the line is with this game.
3.5. And the over and under is 38.5 on that one.
Yeah. I'm just gonna take the Patriots outright. I mean, Jacoby Brissett, he's just a fighter. The Patriots are still gonna suck though. Don't get it twisted. I mean, they'll start 2-0. They'll start 2-0 and lose the next 10, which is okay. But I just think that this is just a huge trap game for Seattle, man. I wanted to pick Seattle because they're the better team, but on the road in Foxborough, I don't know. I'm going to take the Patriots.
There's a lot of injuries in this game too. There's George. What's George Font? That's weird. Yeah, Walker's out.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a bunch of guys questionable. This episode's to make your picks in our pool. But, by the way, if you guys haven't checked him out, go watch Back It Up Binge on YouTube. This JB's awesome. That's funny. All right, Bill, what you got?
I'm going to take straight up. I'm going to take New England, but I will take Seattle with the 3.5. I think it's going to be kind of a close nail biter. I don't believe in either one, but I think Seattle keeps it closer than the 3.5.
Wait. So if you take New England, I want to make sure I understand this. So you're taking New England to win. If they're the underdog, I think you're taking them in the points.
I thought Seattle was the underdog. Or I'm sorry.
Oh, 3-point favorite.
Oh, so yeah.
3.5 point favorite on the road.
So I'm going to take then. Did I write this down wrong? Maybe I did. I took them straight up Seattle, but then with the points, New England. That's it.
Okay, so you went Seattle. Yep. Okay, so on your pick, you have to do that. Rhonda, what's your thoughts? You're muted.
Yep.
He's muted. You're muted.
Hear me now?
Yeah.
There we go.
All right, so I'm taking Seattle -3. Like, I love Jacoby Brissett, but I think this is the start of the fans in New England calling for Drake May. I don't. So it is a trap game, but I think Gino and them are gonna go in there and win pretty handily. Like I say, it's gonna be the start of the fans calling for Drake May to get some snaps.
I wrote down New England.
Yep.
I'm gonna look at some stats. Seattle was 12th. They're both top 5 defenses, but Seattle's offense, I just trust a little more. I'm going to go Seattle on the road. I don't love it at all. I really don't. I don't think. I think that people are blowing a little bit too much smoke Seattle's way. I don't think either team's going to be that great. I don't think either team's going to make the playoffs, but I really don't trust New England. The new coach only lasts for game 2. Yeah, I'm going to go Seattle. I'm going to take Seattle. And give me more than 3.5. I'm going to go Seattle. I am changing. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. There's something about that game with New England I don't like. So I'm gonna go with Seattle. All right, we got 3 left. I don't think they're too bad. They're a little challenging. Bill, it's your turn. We got the Jets, Titans, the Steelers, Broncos, or the Bears and Texans.
Steelers, Broncos. I like to dive into that one. I think Pittsburgh, that defense is going to be enough to handle the Broncos offense. And what is the points? 2.5, right? So Pittsburgh's got to win by 3. I think they win by 3 or more. I can't see Denver taking them, even though it's in Denver. I'll take Pittsburgh.
We took too many similar. I took Pittsburgh on that one too.
Yes, we did.
The funny thing is though, Denver does this crap where they lay an egg after looking great. But and that team is so special. I think that they're going to make Knicks look bad. Good look. What's your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Steelers. I'm also going to take them to cover. I actually made my mistake, going back to my Raiders money line story. When I had all my money on Pittsburgh, actually, I believe in their defense. But once Fields was named the starter, I cashed out and threw all my money on the Raiders instead because they were underdogs. And Justin Fields ended up winning. So I'm not going to doubt him 2 weeks in a row. Plus, Bo Nix. He's not really mobile. And I think that TJ Watt, he's just an animal. He gets after the quarterback, man. So
I like
All
it.
right, real quick though, Justin Fields didn't win that game though. Chris Boswell did.
that's true.
Yep. The kick.
You're right. You're
That's
right.
true.
It's not a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
Rondo, who you going?
I mean, here's another toilet bowl of bad starting quarterbacks. So
Yeah.
Right.
I'll take the home team on that one just because of home field and purely nothing else.
Yeah.
Like,
All right. I like it. All right,
Okay.
we got two more. And then, Bill, I want to hear your best bets after these last two. And I got I
Got
threw
it.
the Malik Willis stuff in, but I've got maybe one more thing. All right. We got two more. Let's go ahead and do the Bears-Texans. I was a little torn on this one. Last time I looked, the Texans is a better game than the other one, in my opinion. A much better game. The Bears D is starting to look. They were looking good at the end of last year. It's 6.5 in Houston. I don't think Houston lets down here. I think Justin Fields is. No, sorry, not Justin Fields. Think of the old Bears quarterback. I think Caleb Williams is
Caleb
going to take
Williams,
some time. Yeah, he's going to take some time to develop. And this is a tough one on the road. And I think that Texans offense is legit. And you could stick Jalen Johnson on one guy, but they've got the Bears secondary does have the talent to try to stack. But then you've got Mixon, and I just think the Texans have too many weapons.
Yeah.
I just don't see this one. I really do. I think that I'm not sure in the points.
The 6.5.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
that's
actually gonna go Houston. I think they're gonna win by more than a touchdown. I'm gonna
Okay.
go Houston.
so you switched in that one then. Okay.
Yeah, no, I picked Houston. I took Chicago with the points, but yeah,
But
I'm
you
gonna
took
switch.
Chicago with the points, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Houston.
With the okay. So
Caleb
I'm
Williams
switching.
bust. Millie, thanks for watching. Another awesome show. Thanks for watching, dude. All right, Bill, who you got? I didn't get your pick on this one.
I have the Houston Texans straight up. They'll beat Chicago and giving 6.5. I think they cover that. I think they win by 10.
I like it. Yeah. All right. Gulick, who you got in this one? Texans at home.
Same deal. I'm gonna take the Texans to cover. I'm not gonna bet against one of my brothers. The center for Houston. I went to high school with him. One of my best friends.
That's cool.
So it was. I'm not gonna bet against Houston. Plus, I think after watching some of the Bears, I think Keenan Allen is washed. So
I drafted him, so don't say that.
The rookie QB. Yeah, the rookie QB plus Rome is he's questionable as well, who I have on my fantasy team, which isn't really helping. So with Rome questionable and Keenan Allen looking his age, I'm gonna take Houston cover.
What's Med's take?
Med, are you watching? I don't know if he's still watching or not.
Yeah. Okay.
He got in late from Minnesota after our show. We did a show on Wednesday with Brady, which was a blast, but he was out of town. He was just south of the Canadian border. He got home at like 1 or 2 a.m., worked, then went to the grocery store after work, and I'm surprised he even tuned in for a little bit because he's probably ready at 10 o'clock in South Carolina. He's probably ready to pass the heck out. Rondo, who'd you have in this one?
Yeah, give me the Texans also. I mean,
Dang
I agree with one
much, guys.
Caleb
I
Williams
know.
is a bust. I never liked him in this draft. And then obviously Keenan Allen was questionable. He didn't practice today. Romo Dunze logged a limited practice today. So he's basically down to only really a DJ Moore, who's nice. But we just talked about how the Texans lit us up with their explosive offense. I don't think Chicago is doing anything special, and especially not on the road.
So the only way they win is defense, and if they can ball control and Caleb doesn't turn over, that Bears D is good. That's how they'd have to win. They might have the better defense, even though the Texans have some toys on that side of the ball. Cool. All right, guys, we got one more game. We're not going to be if you're cool, staying for a few more minutes after. I love these picks. All right, Jets at the Titans. This is a lovely one, but I just can't pick Will Levis in any game. I'm not doing it. Make me wrong, Will Levis. Make me wrong. You are. If Malik Willis wasn't starting this week and some of these other quarterbacks, I think you're in the bottom tier of starters in the league, and I need to see it. You've got weapons, bud. That offense, they've spent money, and you're one of the reasons why they're going to be the winner of. We spent the most money, and we suck because we have Will Levis as our starting quarterback, and you're going to get a GM fired. So sorry, hot take for you guys. I really don't like Will Levis. I'm going Jets. Even though they're one-dimensional on offense, and Robert Saleh is a terrible coach who's probably going to get canned. If he loses this game, watch how hot that seat gets in New York. It's going to be like just flaming, man. 0-2 with most of their toys. 3.5 points. Give me the points too. I think the Jets win by more than 3.5.
It's 3.5. I had 4.
Oh, is it 4 now? Fine. Give me the points. I'm going Jets.
Okay.
Bill, since it's the last pick, pitch the Titans to me.
You know what? I'm going to take the Titans straight up. I think the Titans. Why? I don't know, but you know what? Every time I pick the Jets, they lose. So I'm going to go Titans. Man. So I don't believe in the Jets yet. I just don't.
That's funny, Billy.
What?
No,
what did they say?
He said crazy that Brock Purdy has had the torch passed to him by both Rodgers and Brady. Yeah. He's a big 49ers fan, so of course he talked about the 49ers on the Jets-Titans game. Billy's great. I wish he could. We need to bring him on soon. If we do a late Friday, we need to bring him on. I agree with you, Bill, but my problem is Will Levis is starting at quarterback for the Titans, man. But you know what? But the Titans D, they do have L'Jarius Sneed. Yep. They are set up for success here. They could throw Sneed on Garrett Wilson, and they could make Alan Lazard be the star receiver for the Jets. And then that offense gets really one-dimensional with Aaron Rodgers having nothing else to throw to because Mike Williams, I don't know if is he going to play? I heard he's, I'm looking at it. I don't see him on the injury report, but I don't know. So Breece Hall is going to have to carry the day. That does get a little scary on that side. But then on the other side, that Jets D that should play better than they did against San Fran.
Yep.
They could make Will Levis look bad. The Bears D sure did. So he gifted away that game. That's my I don't know. This one's tough.
I'm thinking the defense stops Tennessee. Levis can't go again. And I think the Jets with the run game get it going enough. And then Lazard and Rodgers connection. They've been, doing it forever. I picked up Lazard, by the way, in my fantasy too, by the way, just because of yeah.
Well, he's got Rodgers throwing the ball. Whenever Rodgers throwing Lazard the ball, he's going to be good for a few touchdowns. Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Rondo, what's your take on this one? You got the Jets on the road, 4-point favorites, or I got 3.5. I don't know on Yahoo.
I see 3.5 on mine.
Yeah, 3.5.
Okay.
Bill.
3.5. That's fine.
The line just, it does that.
Yeah.
What you got? Over under is 41.
We kind of talked about it. I'm on that trend of these bottom 5 starting quarterbacks. Will Levis is in that group. So, and I'm not even really a big fan of Aaron Rodgers, but even at the age of 41, he's clearly still better than Will Levis. Even then, we're going to talk about like trajectory of the team. I have no idea what Tennessee's trying to do because you let Derrick Henry walk, but then you bring in L'Jarius Sneed. So it's like, are you trying to win now? What exactly are you trying to do here? So give me the Jets covering on the road, and
And they went out and got Tony Pollard, and they spent on Cushenberry or the center, and I believe they spent on somebody else on defense. And and they got Kelvin Ridley. They spent.
Yeah, you went out and got all these pieces, and then but let Henry walk. So what do you?
That doesn't. Yeah.
And Vrabel. So it's like they didn't want to. They wanted to like halfway
and they fired their probably most successful coach in the past 15 years.
Yeah, that was a good move. Good GM. I like that. Whoever the Titans GM is, good job, buddy. I'm proud of you. This year, you know what I'm going to do?
Nailed
I'm going to pick. They're going to burn me 4 or 5 times, but I'm going to pick against Tennessee in every single game this year until they start winning. Because Will Levis is so bad. The way he gifted the Bears the game last week, and the Bears didn't have to score an offensive touchdown. That was freaking awesome. Because I was watching on my phone, and I was like, the Bears offense isn't doing anything, but they keep scoring. What's that?
Yeah.
All right. Gulick, what you got?
So, I'm going to take the Jets. I'm actually not going to pick them to cover, though, for the sole fact of, me being selfish. I think that the dynamic of Spears and Pollard, they're both going to keep the Titans in this game, and Will Levis will make a couple cool throws here and there. But I say that selfishly because he's going to stink for most of the game. He's going to make a few cool throws, and then Titans
True
fans
story.
are still and they're still going to be brainwashed into thinking this dude's the guy, and then he's just going to keep stinking up the joint throughout the year. So give them a little false hope because they almost beat the poorly coached Jets. Because I'm with you, I don't think Robert Saleh is that good. Actually, I saw a stat that he's got more losses than wins. I think he's 18-19 as career coach. That's his career record after week 1. So I don't think I don't know.
I want other people to toss their picks in. I agree, man. I like it. All right, so what I got, we all pretty much agreed. That's scary for me. That means that something's going to happen, and we're going to be like,
Yeah.
So we all picked the Cowboys to at least win. I'm not going against the spread, just straight up. The Cowboys, we all picked them to win. We all picked Rondo. You picked the Lions, right?
No, I went Tampa.
Oh, you went Tampa. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
We're going straight up. I want Tampa, but if I'm betting it, I'm taking the points.
Okay, so you got Tampa winning that game. All right.
Yeah.
We all picked Indy.
Yeah.
Bill picked the Titans. Everyone else picked the Jets. Everybody took San Fran. Anthony, you took New England. Everybody else took Seattle. I almost went with you on New England. I almost did. We all took Washington. We all took the Chargers. We all took the Jaguars. We all took the Ravens. We all took the Rams. Rondo took the Broncos at home for sake of home. I kind of get that because this away thing, he's right. Some road team's gonna home underdog. There's a lot of home underdogs this week. There's, my gosh, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Six home dogs. One of those is gonna win. It's just law of averages. It's gonna happen. We all took the Rams. We all took, like I said, he took the Broncos, everybody else took the Steelers. We all took the Chiefs. Everybody took the Texans, and everybody took the Eagles. That was fun, guys. Good stuff. Yeah. All right. Bill, why don't you give us your best bets? I'm sorry I didn't do it at the beginning. I was kind of all jacked up on Call of Duty.
The Call of Duty. Duty calls, man.
No, seriously, I won right before we came on. It was like 11 minutes before, and we won the match. It was epic. So no,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. That's awesome. No, I got the Rams over the Cardinals. I think straight up and +1. The Rams straight up. I think they cover by 5. I think the Rams win 27-17. That's one of my best bets. The other one, KC over the Bengals. They win straight up and -6. And I think they win 38-24. And then the other one is Eagles over the Falcons at home. They cover the 6.5 and they win straight up.
I like it. All right. For Isaac's insights, I've got Malik Willis. This is for you. If you can't do anything, and no offense, guys, if you can't do anything against this Colts defense at Lambeau with these weapons, and I'm not saying they're the best weapons in the league, but if you can't even get to 100 yards in this game, just go home, put your stuff in your locker, go home and stay there. And I know you won't do that because you're probably getting paid $2 million or whatever. And we traded a 7th round pick, so the Packers are invested now. But if this guy can't even get 100 yards against at home in week 2, when the defenses, they don't have a lot of tape on them, and the defenses aren't up to speed, this is the time to do it with this team. We have a really good coach. So do the Colts. So I love Steichen. He probably could have gotten coach of the year last year. But seriously, Malik Willis needs to get it. I'm going to go to my other quarterback I talked about, Will Levis. If he can't, that Jets D is not as great as everybody thinks. They did lose a lot of pieces on that defensive line. Reddick isn't playing. They lost Huff. That defensive line isn't the same as it was. Levis should have time to throw. I don't think. I mean, San Fran's line is like. I mean, Trent Williams needed an IV week 1, and they still couldn't get pressure. The Jets couldn't on the 49ers at all. Yet Purdy had a field day. They ran it right down the Jets' throat. Tennessee at home, I'm not saying they should win, but Levis better look better than week 1, or people are going to be calling for him. And my other insight is I think Gulick talked about it.
Mm.
If the Patriots get smacked around, it might be Drake May time. Might be Drake May time. Since we got some fantasy players here, I got one last thing I want to do, and then we'll close. You guys have any fantasy plays of the week or locks that you would absolutely start?
Ooh, let me look real quick.
I would start Richardson with confidence against the Green Bay D.
Yeah.
I would start Jonathan Taylor as well, honestly.
I would start Richardson every week. Rondo, even my partner here, Rondo, he thinks I'm nuts, but I told him we had like an in-person draft. I had my first like in-person draft like with the stickers for once, like on the board, and I picked Richardson over Mahomes and Lamar. And it was funny because like for all of like the outlandish picks, the guys like, had you pick a shot out of like a 99 like proof bag of those like little things of like these obscure flavors. I took a shot for that, but I was like, hey, screw you guys, because he scored more than Mahomes and Lamar did. So take that. But let me see here. I actually, I think a must start for me is Isaiah Likely.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
I've not only because he had a big game, but Vegas linebackers, they just can't cover. I mean, every year. I mean, I like Robert Spillane, the former Steeler. He's a good player, but he can't really cover. And I just think that Likely is too fast for linebackers. So that matchup I really do love. And Mark Andrews, I think he just hasn't looked the same ever since that injury. I mean, he even came back late in the year last year and didn't really do much in the playoffs. So I'm going to take Isaiah Likely. I think it's his turn to ascend this year into one of the best tight ends. So
I think you're right. I think it might as good as Mark Andrews is. I think he might just take over. We're going to see though. Week 1 is such an outlier. Some guys can bust out, and then it doesn't happen for the next 12 weeks. Like you said, New England could win this game and then go lose 10 straight. It's totally doable. Rondo, what you got? You got any good fantasy plays?
All right, I think it's one. Smash J.K. Dobbins against Carolina.
Ooh, I like that. That's a good one.
I just got to update that Josh Palmer is most likely going to get downgraded to doubtful. So Herbert's down another weapon. We talked excessively about Carolina being the worst team in football. J.K. Dobbins showed in week 1 that he's back, so why not do it again?
Just hope he can stay healthy. That's all.
Madden Harbaugh loves to run.
He does.
Harbaugh
You're right.
Loves to run.
That's why I thought Vidal would take that job over, but they've got Edwards and Dobbins. All right, I got one for you guys. I got a couple. I think the Cowboys, if Lattimore doesn't play, I would run with Dak and CeeDee at home. I think they could put some points, even against that Saints D that's solid. But here's my play of the week. Kyren Williams against the Cardinals D.
Oh, yeah.
Just run it.
Dude,
the Packers, unfortunately, are going to be too one-dimensional. Otherwise, I would have said Josh Jacobs against Indy's D. And any running back in that Colts-Packers game, I think, could have a field day with the poorest tackling we saw week 1. But I like Kyren Williams here. The Cardinals D is going to be their Achilles heel all season. I could be wrong on this. The Rams line isn't great. But I think Kyren Williams could have like 140 and a touch or two, honestly. They're going to need him with Nakua out. Bill, you got any what you running with this week, fantasy-wise?
Give me St. Brown against Tampa secondary.
Ooh,
he goes for 100-plus yards, 2 touchdowns.
Good take. And with Jameson maybe being out, and he had his coming out party week 1, if Jameson Williams is limited, St. Brown could get some more run and Laporta. I like it. I almost said Gibbs, but Tampa's front is not terrible. I like it. All right, guys. I had a blast. Honestly, I could stay on for another hour. Why don't you guys... Gulick, Rondo, tell everybody where to find your show, when you guys have your show, and what you got coming up.
Take it away, Rondo.
Yeah. All right, definitely. Obviously, First 56 is the @ on Twitter, X, whatever you call it. For your audio, again, iTunes, Spotify, Buzzsprout, Stitcher, YouTube. We are affiliated with the Sideline Sports team, so you can catch us on their YouTube channel. Facebook, it's a First 56 page. And then, like I said, every Monday, typically after a game, we got Overreaction Monday. When it comes to the pre-week, it's usually Thursday or Friday. It kind of varies, but Twitter, X, again, whatever, is where you get all the updates.
I like it. Do you guys have any other closing thoughts on week 2?
I'm just excited just
Me too.
to see, how Anthony Richardson plays. This is, you know, not even the wins and losses, but I saw it on Twitter. Nobody can really like make fun of our quarterbacks anymore, which I think is cool. There was a play there was a play in the Texas game in the Texans game where I thought it was just amazing. Nobody was open on third down, and our quarterback ran for 20 yards and got the first down. And after watching Matt Ryan and Carson Wentz the past few years, I mean, even Phillip Rivers, I mean, he got the ball out, but he was so old. I mean, just after seeing like those types of guys, I just love that our quarterback. He might not be accurate, but at least he can run. That's all I want to see.
I like it. My thought is these week 2 picks feel too easy, and I'm like scared of them right now. This feels too easy. We barely disagreed, and it felt too easy. I'm worried some crap is going to happen. In this Packers Colts game, I'm really, really curious what's going to happen with the Packers D and the Colts D. It's one of the underlying storylines. I want to see if who rises up on both defenses, because y'all should win this game. If Malik Willis is what we think he is, you guys should probably win by like 10-14. Even with a good coach like ours, it really it's so limiting when you can't do anything throwing the ball. You just stack the box and make this kid beat it, and that's what exactly. If I was maddening this, I'd be like, all right, 8 in the box. I'm going to blitz every play. I would seriously make this guy throw the ball. I would do the same thing to Richardson, but I have way more confidence in him as a passer. So that's my curious thought on this Packer Colt game in week 2. Bill, you have social media. Where can people find you, Bill?
Hey, man. I got a Twitter now, man. I'm like hip into the 20s, or 21st century. It's crazy, man. It's crazy, but yeah, no. I mean, you can hit me up. I even forget what my call. What is it?
I think you're still under your wife, Deb Flanders.
Yeah, Debbie. Yeah, that's right. I guess I borrowed hers or something. I don't know how to set this stuff up. I just tune in, and my son knows more about technology and all this stuff than I do, so it's crazy. But yeah.
And I forgot to do this at the beginning. I was 10-6 last week, and I'm 1-0 right now with the Buffalo pick. But I was 7-9 against the spread. Bill was 7-9 straight up last week. He's 11-5 against the spread. I did record y'all's picks, so hopefully we'll have you guys back on, and we can see how it went. We all pretty much picked the same, so it is what it is. But I would like to say thank you to everybody watching. This was the second highest show we've had. We're at almost 850 right now. Thank you, everybody. Wow. It's mostly Twitter clicks, but I'm happy about it. Thank you for everybody watching. Millie, I hope we can get you on sometime soon. Kachow, Bill, or Med, thank you for watching.
Thanks, Med.
I want to thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us. Next week, I'm excited. We've got Packer guy from Cheesehead TV coming on, and we're going to be bringing Rob from Sounds Gouda back, and we're going to have a Packer panel. And if we're 0-2, it's going to be a pity panel. So hopefully it's not.
I hope not. Man, but I don't want this cheese to melt. So
somebody's got to be 0-2 because I don't think we're tying. But the kicker thing is interesting too. Yeah, it's going to be crazy. But I'll be back with Blitz next week as well. But I want to say thank you to everybody for watching. Please go like and subscribe to the show. We're trying to hit 550, and we're part of Sideline Sports as well on Twitter. And thank you for Shady Sports for putting the show on. We appreciate it. Hopefully these picks go well. We'll be back next Friday to talk about it. Hopefully me and Bill are in a good mood, either with the picks or with the Packers.
Yeah.
Rondo, good luck on the Colts game, man. I'm excited to watch Richardson. I don't get to see him a ton because me and Bill both live in Texas.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to watch this kid live because we barely got to see him last year, and that sucked. It was like the JJ McCarthy injury. It was too soon. So good luck this week, guys. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks,
Bill,
guys.
Thank you for hanging out, and we'll see you guys next week.
Take care, guys.